Hi guys, what is up? So for today's lesson is gonna be a little bit complicated, so you better pay attention. As you can see over there, my battery almost runs out, so I need to talk in a very fast manner. So in order for you to write a good report, you need to know how to organize your essay or your writing. The first one is to know the subject. So if the exam question asks you to write for this particular subject, you need to know what you're going to be writing later. So in order for you to know what you're going to be writing, you need to gather as much information as possible using facts, using quotations. So over here, the subject is about death toll rises in Malaysia, right? So the extension of MCO. You need to gain as many information as possible about the extension of MCO by using facts, by using quotations, probably by our Prime Minister, probably by significant figures. You can quote them, or you can use indirect speech. You can rephrase their words and make it your own. Okay, it is important for you to have your own stand. Do you support it? Are you going against it? Or are you going to be praising them, or are you criticize them? So for this particular subject, right, after you gain all the facts and quotations, and then you need to know whether you support them or against them, and then the significance of supporting this particular issue or subject. And from the very beginning until the end, I need to see the consistency. And this particular point, consistency, will be graded and will be credited for your exam, IGCSE exam. So first and foremost, of course, you need to have an introduction about the subject. If the given subject is about the extension of MCO, you need to introduce the subject a little bit. Just give the audience or the readers a general idea about your subject so they know what's going on. So body paragraph, let's say you have 2 points to support the subject, so you need to break the paragraphs into 2. So the body paragraph over here, you need to have topic sentence, and then you support the main idea, which is your topic sentence, and you give your own commentary explaining why it links to your thesis statement. Thesis statement is in the introduction, right? So this is your second paragraph when you talk about your point of supporting that particular subject, and then you give kind of a little bit explanation about the subject that you're talking about, and then you give the example or commentary regarding your subject or your topic sentence. And paragraph number 3 is another point for your support. So why do you support again? Paragraph 2, probably you're talking about health issue, and probably paragraph number 3, you talk about economy concern. So you have 2 ideas of why you support the extension of MCO. So if you're going against it, you also need to provide 2 main ideas and then try to break these main ideas into 2 separate paragraphs, support that particular idea, and then give your own commentary. Are we clear? But if you are a little bit blurry, this is very ambiguous for you, I will explain it in detail. So this is about thesis statement, right? So you need to understand what is the function of having a thesis statement in the first place. Writers are using thesis statement to give like a broad idea what they're going to be talking about in the following paragraphs. So they try to make it as simple as possible, but very clear. And it must not be too broad, or else people might not understand what is this article about. And it must not be too narrow, or else people just get the idea in the first place and will not be interested to read the entire article. So the perfect one is try to make it concise but very compact. So report on Panama Pacific International Exposition. So this is about a report on Panama Pacific International Exposition. So you know, one thing is about a report, and then another is about Panama Pacific International Exposition. If it's too narrow, the report on food at the Panama Pacific International Exposition, World's Affair, this is way too much information to be included in the first introductory paragraph. remember when I said the second step is for you to gather information? So the primary sources, it can be from original written works, it can be from court records, it can be from interviews. If you want to make your information more reliable, after you have your own primary sources, you can continue with secondary sources where you have the reference book, you have the reviews, and then you try to back your primary sources and your secondary sources with tertiary sources, with databases, abstracts, and indexes. But I don't expect you to use all these kind of sources. It's easy for you to just find quotations and facts from anyone related to this particular subject. Death toll rises in Malaysia. That will do for your level. And this is the thesis. Remember, not too broad, not too specific, very concise but compact. The three main halls of the Panama Pacific International Exposition were filled with modern creations of the day and were an excellent representation of the innovative spirit of the progressive era. So you kind of know we have 2 points over here, which is the first one, modern creations of the day, and the second one is an excellent representation of the innovative spirit of the progressive era. So the first point you're going to put in the second paragraph where you give your idea of whether you support it or you're going against it. So this is the first idea you're going to be talking about in your second paragraph. And for your third paragraph is the representation of the innovative. And this is your topic sentence. You're gonna give your own explanation or elaboration about this particular topic sentence. And last but not least, to conclude that particular paragraph, you need to provide your own commentary. Thesis 1 outline. So outline is just for you to draft before you write it. You need to know thesis statement is very important because if you got it wrong, people might get the wrong idea for your entire article. But if you get it right, the idea is well communicated and well delivered. So the first part, which is not in bold, the Panama Pacific International Exposition of 1915 was intended to celebrate both the creation of the Panama Canal and the technological advancement achieved at the turn of the century. So these statements are just general idea about the subject, which is the Panama Pacific International Exposition. So the author or the writer tries to give just a general idea about the topic and then support with the thesis, which is what the writer tries to deliver in the following paragraph, which is the three main halls of the PPIE were filled with modern creations of the day, number 1, and were an excellent representations of the innovative spirit of the progressive era. So this is your thesis. It's gonna be in the final sentence of the paragraph for your introductory paragraph. Are we clear? So this is paragraph 2, okay, for your report writing. Paragraph 1, are we done? We start off with a general idea of the topic and then you need to have your thesis statement. Your thesis statement must show whether you support or you're going against it. And your second paragraph is about the first point in your thesis statement, okay? The first point in your thesis statement is to celebrate both the creation of the Panama Canal and the technological advancement achieved at the turn of the century. You see, modern creation of the day. So modern creation, to celebrate both the creation of Panama Canal and the technological advance achieved at the turn of the century. So this is your topic center. You try to make it a little bit specific because this is the paragraph. This is the very paragraph to talk about that very point. So you can make it specific and then give your own commentary. The three main halls of the PPIE were filled with modern creations of the day and were an excellent representation of the innovative spirits of the progressive era. So you need to know, can you see over here? The tip is to assume that your reader knows little to nothing about the subject. Support your facts with plenty of details and include definitions if you use technical terms or jargon in the papers. So I assume by now you already know what does it mean by jargon, technical terms or jargon. You can also provide evidence if you cannot give your own commentary. But if you can provide both, it's just best of both worlds. So if you have evidence, that will be great. And commentary explaining why it links to your thesis. Before that, shout out to Wiki how to write a report. But I try to make it very simple and according to your level, with its moments of sublimity and inequity. The PPIE also represented a tremendous enterprise, the collaboration of tens of thousands of individuals. So commentary explaining why it links to your thesis is good if you don't have evidence. Either way works. So this is how you write a report. Let me recapitulate. A report writing should have a systematic order of how you place your idea from the beginning until the end. You need to have your subject, and then you need to know whether you support or against the subject. Gather as many information as possible using facts or using quotations, and then you need to understand why is it significant for you to support or going against it. If you know the significance, you kind of know what to write. You will not blanked out. And then you start off with the first introductory paragraph by giving general idea of what the subject is about, and then continue with the thesis statements because you need to provide 2 different paragraphs for your points. I suggest you to put 2 main idea in your thesis statement. So over here, the body paragraphs supposed to have 2 paragraphs with 2 different ideas from the thesis statement, providing the supportive idea, and then your commentary or your evidence. And this is where the part where you can put the facts and the quotations. Okay, and then you conclude by summarizing your thesis, and please state your opinion again, whether you support it or whether you're going against it, and just try to summarize in a way that the reasons you support it, which is in the thesis statement, because this and that and this and that. And that's all for today's class. I hope you totally understand our today's lesson. Stay safe, stay at home.